Welcome into stream, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Wednesday. Damn it. I almost did it 2 days in a row. I almost had. Happy Wednesday. It is time for our usual cooking shenanigans. I know originally I said I was going to be doing some pad thai tonight, but working sucks and I had to work today. So we're doing something that's a little bit less labor intensive, a little bit less stuff I had to go out and buy, and we are doing some chicken parm tonight. And we're going to do it just little tiny bit different, but we're doing a whole bunch of homemade stuff. It's going to be delicious. We also have garlic bread because it's not chicken parm unless you have garlic bread. Sorry, it's facts. And we have a black garlic theme going again. We have a black garlic butter on our garlic butter blah 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 garlic bread. There we go. I know words. We've got our oven heating up to 400 degrees because we are going to be doing the chicken parm in the oven rather than doing it in a pan. It's a little less messy, still gets nice and crispy, and we can get that cheese all broiled up. So we are going to start with our 3-step breading process. And it's really simple. So your first step, a lot of the time people use flour as that first dredge, but it's a personal belief thing, but it shouldn't be flour. We use cornstarch, and there is a reason for that. Cornstarch ends up adding just a little bit more of a light and crispy texture when you're frying something up. So that cornstarch is going to give us just a little bit something better. So we're going to start off, cover it in cornstarch. I probably did not grab enough, so we're going to have to go get more. Yeah, no, I definitely did not get enough, but that's okay. And then we've got 2 beaten eggs for our wet. And another little tip for whenever you're breading stuff, dry hand, wet hand. Doesn't matter which one is which, but always try to do a wet hand and a dry hand to make it a little easier on yourself. And then we have a mix of flour, breadcrumbs, and we've got an Italian herb seasoning because I'm lazy. Salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Just real easy, real simple, but still delicious. Gonna flip it. And we've got a little baking tray with some parchment paper all ready to go. Let's see. Yeah, I always massively underestimate how much cornstarch I need. We're gonna try and stretch it. It's probably not gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot. And into our eggs. Both sides. Go, and breading again. Just repeat the same shit for 4 pieces. And then we'll do just a little something else before we toss them in the oven. But again, we got our oven heated to 400 degrees. There's a thick boy here, and I'm a mess. One of the few times I decided, hey, I don't need an apron, I managed to get cornstarch all over myself. It happens. Alright. And you know what? I think I might have just enough. We'll see. I would like to not have to walk 2 feet because I am a lazy fuck. Oh man, don't tell me I was short on breading too. Nah, we good. We got just enough. Obviously, planning is the thing I'm the best at in the kitchen. Alright. Last bit of chicken is going to get cornstarched. And the other couple of things we're going to be making with this is we are going to be doing the marinara sauce, homemade, to go on top of it. It's going to be a really simple recipe, but honestly, a lot of the times simple is just as good, if not better. And especially in Italian cooking, they keep things nice and easy, but also just a correction of facts here real quick. chicken parm is not actual Italian food. It is Italian American. So we're not entirely Italian tonight, but that's okay. There we go. Nice breaded chicken. Gonna get our plates out of the way. We're going to wash our hands because, as always, we do not cross-contaminate. We're gonna do the best that we can to get the mess that is all of the fucking cornstarch off. Yeah. You know what? These are going in the laundry anyway. Alright, so then the other thing we're gonna do before we pop these in the oven is we're gonna give them just a little spray of oil. And we're using olive oil for this. Again, this is something that I do preach a lot, but the burning point of your oil is a very, very important thing to pay attention to. If you're trying to get something crispy, you want to use something with a very, very low burning point. So olive oil is typically my go-to on that. It'll help you get a little crispier, a little faster. Whereas if you're just doing something that, come on, this thing takes forever to spray. If you're trying to saute something nice and slow and really just take your time with the process, higher burning point like canola, avocado, coconut oil, things like that. Alright, we don't want to overcook our chicken, so we're going to start off with 15 minutes on these. Well, we're going to start with 10 minutes and then we're going to flip them and check the temp. Since we're using nice thin pieces, they're going to cook pretty quick. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do homemade croutons for our salad. So, super, super simple. We just have some simple cut up bread. We're going to toss that in a pan. And we are going to spray it down with some olive oil. I personally prefer homemade croutons over any others. They are really, really easy to make. And the texture, at least personally, ends up a lot better. And we're just going to hit it with a little bit of cracked pepper, little pinch of salt, and because you can never have enough, a little bit of garlic powder. And we are just going to be tossing those over a medium heat and let them kind of roll out. So the other thing we got to do is we got to make our marinara sauce. It is going on our chicken parm. First step is a can of crushed tomatoes. And this time, Sean used his brain and actually got a pan that we can use our stick blender in. I know, surprising. We're gonna have that over about a medium-low heat. We're gonna add about 6 leaves of fresh basil. Do not want to shy away from that basil flavor. Alright, and as always, I'm gonna make a mess. We'll give it some salt and some pepper. And now personally, I like just a little bit of bite to my marinara sauce, so we're gonna add just a little bit of balsamic vinegar. So we'll say roughly about a tablespoon, not a whole lot. And then, you know what, I did not give that enough garlic powder. If it was cooking for myself personally, we would saute some garlic and onions before we toss the sauce in and start rolling it out, but we're cooking for people that don't love onions, so we're trying to be considerate of the people that are eating our food. All right. And now, at this point, we are just kind of sitting and waiting on those. It makes it nice and easy. We are, oops, I'm making a mess everywhere. We're going to do two things. First, we're going to take our wrapped garlic bread and toss it in the oven. By the time the timer goes off for that first check on the chicken, it should be just the right time to open that up. That way we can get it nice and crispy on the inside. So I always start with it folded over real easy, and then we open it up. That way we just get that crispy, cheesy goodness. Because of course there is Parm on our garlic bread. All right. Now, the other thing we're doing along with this, and I did a little bit of cheating and did a little bit of stuff beforehand on this, but we're doing a nice side salad. So we got our greens. We are doing our homemade croutons right now, and then we roasted up some Brussels sprouts. Really, really simple. Just salt, pepper, and olive oil. Roasted them at, let's see, 425 for about 20 minutes, just enough that they get a little bit of that caramelization, a little bit of that color, start to soften, but not too much. And then in here, this, if you could see it, absolutely 100% appealing mush that we have in here, we are going to be making a black garlic vinaigrette here. So we have some minced black garlic, about 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, and 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. And we have in our little measuring cup here, we're going to check our croutons really quick. No, my saute skills are not where they should be. There we go. Gotta stop fucking that up. So what we have in here is 6 tablespoons of olive oil. And when you're making a vinaigrette, one of the most important things to do is slowly pour in your oil. If you go a little bit too fast and you aren't patient enough, you're gonna end up breaking the emulsion, and your sauce is going to separate, or your dressing is gonna separate. So it unfortunately takes a whole lot of patience to do. But we're gonna go ahead and do it. That way we get a nice creamy dressing. And just letting that kind of trickle out as we whisk. You can kind of keep an eye on how things are looking as it comes together, and you'll get an idea of if you're pouring too fast or if you got the speed right. So far we're looking pretty good. I'm realizing how much of a pain in the ass it is to mince black garlic, having for the second time tried doing it. It's so fucking sticky because of the aging process, so it's a bitch to mince because it just keeps sticking to your knife and you have to constantly be swiping it off of there. Our dressing is looking good so far. This is probably going to be a little bit on the quick side for one of these cooking streams, but that's alright. It's just all about making some tasty food. And we have more fresh homemade mozzarella for this one. That was honestly the entire inspiration behind this. There we go. The last of our oil is in. Set this in the sink so I don't make a mess. Oh my god, I gotta stop over flipping. And then, as you can see, our dressing has that nice, fairly thick consistency, but there's none of that oil that separated off. You know, you guys don't have to hide. Alright, so now we are at the point where we are just kind of stuck waiting. Keep paying attention to our croutons. Just looking to get a nice little bit of crispy on the outside. You know what? I forget how terrible that lighting is, but I need to see what I'm doing. So we're doing it anyway. While we wait for that, we're going to slice up our mozzarella. And again, this was fresh made today. I am like, I'm getting way too proud of my mozzarella making abilities. Alright, one. There's not enough here. I think we still have some left from the other day, but I would much rather use the fresh stuff for this. Oops. There we go. Starting to come together. Pan is still a little bit too hot, so we're going to turn that down. And we're going to try to slice this evenly. Because it's so soft, it wants to kind of give in. That's good enough. That'll work. All right, we got a slice for each of our pieces of chicken. Croutons are getting there. They'll start to feel dry and a little crispy. Oh my God, don't yell at me, Sauce. I need a spoon. I don't know where anything is in my own kitchen. I really don't know where anything is in my own fucking kitchen. Let's see here. We're stuck on something. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Let's grab a ladle. Kind of mix it up. Make sure we get a nice stir on there. And now comes the emulsification process, which is real simple. Just gonna take our stick blender. And really the whole point of this, whoops, check our chicken in one sec. The whole point of this is just breaking up the basil. That's all. That's all we're doing. Alright. That is all ready to go. Flip our croutons, make sure we're not burning them. Turn the heat off of this and taste it. That'll do. That will do. Alright, our chicken is looking about half done. So like I said, we're going to pull this from the oven. And as you can see, since we used that cornstarch, it's starting to get a little bit crispy and a little bit light. We will grab a spatula and flip them over real quick. And we're going to set this down so Sean isn't doing too much at once. Our croutons are done. There we go. It's always satisfying when everything starts coming together at the right time. Give these guys a flip. And we're going to hit them with some more oil so we get nice and crispy. I hate this stupid spray thing. It does not like to behave itself. Alright. And now we're going to kick our oven up to about 425. That way we can get a little bit more crispiness going. We're going to toss these in there for about 5 minutes. Open up our garlic bread as well. We can get this looking all good. There we go. Right. So we got just a little bit warm. Our butter's looking nice and melty. Now we really want to caramelize everything, especially that cheesy goodness on there. So we'll just toss these straight on the oven rack. And then once our 5 minutes is up, we will sauce up our chicken, put the cheese on, and get it broiling for just a minute or two to get that all nice and crispy. And we got our simple homemade croutons here. They're, at least personally, better made at home in a pan. Oh, that's right, it's sourdough bread. Oh, that's good. Because it gives you a different texture. They don't end up as dry as any store-bought croutons end up being. There's actually a little bit of give to them before it's all that just crispy crouton goodness. I'm gonna have water over here. But now comes the fun part, where we just simply have to stand around and wait for everything to finish cooking. Which is usually the time where I would go and do my dishes, because it is easy to get ahead. But we're on stream, so I'll do that later. That's a future Sean problem. Damn fine croutons. Quick case test of our dressing. Okay, not bad. It's the first time I've ever tried making black garlic dressing. It is, I'm okay with that. It's got some nice acidity to it from the, mustard and we used red wine vinegar in this. Only complaint is that black garlic did not break down enough, so it's a little bit chunky in some spots, and it probably could have gone a little bit heavier on it, but it's not bad. It's not bad, and I am my own worst critic. Alright, we're gonna make sure that our red sauce is nice and toasty, so we don't have to worry about heating that up in the oven. And it'll really just be about getting things crispy in the right texture. I'm gonna be smart and actually set up our cutting board for our garlic bread. Ooh. That's looking good. We are hitting 160 degrees right now, so we're probably going to be a little bit more done than I would prefer, but that's okay. That is the unfortunate thing about working with this in the oven, is it doesn't crisp up quite as fast as if you cook it on a pan, but it still works. All right. I'll make sure that our parchment is actually on here, so I have one less dish to have to clean. Going to give it a nice little covering for 3 of them. And one we're doing a little bit different. My sister is not a fan of red sauce, so we're taking some creative liberty here, and we are going to do some pesto on there. Where did I put the open jar of pesto? There we go. So we'll treat it just like we did the others. Put some pesto, and you know what? A little bit of oil there. We're gonna, just for the hell of it, we're gonna add a little bit of pesto into some of at least one of them. We're gonna give that a shot. And I know I could have made homemade pesto, but I am a lazy fuck sometimes. All right. be afraid to tear your mozzarella to make it the right size pieces to fit. It is all about just getting proper coverage on our chicken. Let's see here. And one taste for me. It's so creamy and delicious. Okay. We're going to pull our garlic bread because it is now officially ready to go. And we're not going to use that. We're going to just grab some tongs. Take our cutting board with us. Oh, this is always the best damn part. Garlic bread. Okay. I'm gonna eat an entire fucking half loaf. Alright, and now we are going to turn our oven on to a high broil. Because again, we are only looking to crisp up our chicken right now. Everything's cooked through. We don't want to overcook our chicken. So we are just trying to melt our mozzarella. And whenever you're using a broiler or the broil section or setting on your oven, you want to be paying very close attention because it is it'll make your stuff turn from perfectly crispy to absolutely fucking gone burnt in a matter of seconds. Alright, we got our plates. I never remember to grab silverware beforehand because I am not always the best at planning ahead. That is okay. That's starting to come together. Let's see. One of the 3 plates is probably not going to want salad. So what we're going to do is pour over our dressing. Don't want to go too heavy on it, just enough to get some solid coverage. Because nobody likes a dry ass salad. And if you do, I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with you. There we go. Try and get some of everything. The Brussels sprouts are wanting to hide in the bottom. There we go. Our chicken should be just about done. We're gonna give it one more minute. It's almost there, but it's not quite crispy enough. So we're gonna give that some more time and go through the exciting process of slicing our garlic bread. Hey, I'm doing well, my man. How you doing? You are just in time to see the plating. We got some delicious sourdough black garlic bread. Simple salad with, and again, we're keeping the black garlic theme going, but a black garlic vinaigrette, some roasted Brussels sprouts, and homemade croutons. And we are making chicken parm. We're doing it without pasta because I eat too many carbs. So I'm trying not to be too. You know, I say that, but also I'm cutting up garlic bread right now. So it's not like I do the best job. Alright, oh, there we go. Here is the best part. We have our finished chicken parm. I'm going to try and turn this without dumping everything. I'm going to cut one more piece of garlic bread. as always, I will eat the first bite for you guys. And then we hide my shame and I go back into the corner to eat things. But that is a simple but very, very delicious chicken parm. Takes all of, at most, a half hour to do. I will give you a little peek at the plating here. Ta-da! Probably could have let the cheese crisp up a little bit more, but again, I am my own worst critic. All right, I'm just gonna take one bite, and then I will destroy this off stream, because nobody needs to see what I'm about to do to this piece of chicken. I was a little worried the chicken was going to be overcooked because of how long we had it in there, but you know what? That actually ended up being perfectly moist. Acidic dressings and roasted Brussels sprouts go so fucking good together. And then, of course, we just have to eat some garlic bread. Apparently I'm going too light on my black garlic because that is kind of underwhelming. I am a sad panda, but it is still delicious. I'm gonna go destroy some food, but as always, thank you so much for coming and hanging out, watching me do whatever random shit I end up doing on this channel. I will be back Friday night with the usual shenanigans with my best friend, my trustworthy moose. I think we're gonna be playing some more Dead by Daylight. I don't know why, but we've both been obsessed with playing it lately. It's not a bad game. And then usual shenanigans the rest of the week. But thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. I will hopefully see y'all again on Friday.